Hello friends, in this video we are going to talk about entrepreneurship. Now, I've always spoken about ideas which can make you a chartered accountant, a cost accountant, a company secretary, or an MBA finance, or in marketing for that matter. But what about entrepreneurship? That's what is the essence of our economy, because eventually all these highly paid executives who get out of their homes in the morning and then slog it out for the entire day do it for businessmen. So why not become a businessman in the first place, so that you are not subjected to the vagaries of a particular degree or to the dictums of your boss and organization. Become your own boss. The first predicament that you will have in this is that, sir, I don't have adequate capital. Trust me, every business idea does not need a huge quantum of capital per se. So let's discuss 6 ideas in terms of what you can at least make a living for yourself. So for example, if you're a student who's been struggling with his or her exams, not getting that coveted degree, don't sit back at home and be frustrated. Start these businesses. First of all, become an insurance agent, a mutual fund agent. There is a lot of scope. In single premium policies for individual life, you get 2% of the premium paid, and for term plans you get 7.5% of the premium paid as your commission structure. For regular policies, you get for the first year in individual policies 40% of the premium paid is your commission, and over the next years it's 10% per annum. So you sell a policy for someone today, and over the next 15 years, as and when that person pays insurance premiums, the money comes to you. In LIC, you got the concepts of $1 million round table. People who've crossed that threshold, and they are really good because you connect with the HNIs of the world and they trust you for whatever you say. You know, it's a very difficult space. You'll have a 15% commission structure for health insurance. For general insurance, again, whether it's vehicle, fire, property, burglary, 10 to 15% of the premium paid. Very crowded market because again there are no entry barriers. But then the differentiator is ethical selling. Today a customer must have trust on me that if I am recommending a particular insurance policy to him or her, I am not doing it just because I am lured by the higher payout structures for my commission. I will tell you that no, go for a Napoleon Munich medical insurance because their settlement is really good. You will not be harassed when it comes to real cases. And I know people who give services such as that if you've got a medical emergency in your house, they accompany you to the hospital and get the cashless done. Once you do that, and this situation will happen maybe once in 2 years or so, you've got a customer for a lifetime. Again, in mutual fund, it's a very clear thing that a direct plan and a regular plan, there is a huge 1.5% structure difference in terms of the total expense ratio. A huge part of it is paid out to the mutual fund agents in the form of commissions, the trail commissions, because now the upfront commissions are not allowed. So on a liquid mutual fund, you get almost like 1 paisa of the amount, and in an equity fund, you get as high as 1% of your assets under management, and it's a graded thing. So for up to 100%, it's a particular structure. Then 100 to 250 crores, it's a different structure. 250 crores to 500 crores, you get even a higher payout. The more financial muscle that you have, the greater is the bargaining power that you have with the mutual fund house. There are a lot of people who really do not know whether a mutual fund is different from an SIP. Trust me, that's the ground reality in our country. There are people who just want to start 5,000 rupees per month SIP. Again, it's a crowded market. But then people who can really bring out the difference in terms of analysis, analyzing the portfolio, analyzing the sharp tenor ratio of the fund, whether it's taking risk commensurate with the returns, who is the fund manager, has he changed, a lot of things that you can tell people. That's the first idea that I would like to bounce you off. Financial products, you know, insurance, mutual fund, and a host of other financial products that are there in the market today. The second is direct selling agent of a bank or a mutual fund. I've had a separate video on this, but today, home loans, education loan, business loans, banks really need intermediaries to connect to the last mile with the customer. The former EIRC chairman of the CA Institute, today runs his own DSA and has got 800 employees working for him in different districts of West Bengal. Now imagine the kind of volume that you would be generating. You've got 800 paychecks that you need to sign at the end of the month. There is massive demand because people need an intermediary for auto loans, for car loans, two-wheeler, three-wheeler, business loans. So become a DSA, it's a fantabulous thing. You've got even high-end products like loan against shares, IPO funding, where these banks and NBFCs give good payout structures. There is no entry barrier again here. You need to connect with the banks and NBFCs, look at the channel sales partners and make inroads for yourself. The third is outsourcing in terms of things like security services. You know, SIS India, it's one of the largest organized players in the security space. It's founded in 1985 from scratch. Today the market capitalization of this listed company is 5,800 crores. The security business of SIS alone is 2,000 crores plus. So imagine the security services in India is likely to employ 11.5 million people in the country. You know, that typical guy who is at the gates of any organization. So once you got connect with any company, they take 8 security staffs through your agency. So you get 5 to 6% of the salary of that person as agency fees. Now you can just scale this business to anything like SIS has done. Quest Corp again is into temp staffing. 10,500 crores is the market capitalization. Cleaning of companies, facilities, cash logistics. You know that there are just 2 to 3 players in the country today who do cash management, the logistics part of refueling each and every ATM from the vault of the bank. Now these are difficult businesses to enter. You know, security business, especially with the gun, will require you to have some ex-army background, some connections to have those licenses. But then it's a steady flow of business. Once you've got connect with a company, for the next 12 months, every month that money is going to come. Companies are taking people off payroll and are paying you 2% per month of their salary to ensure just the compliance with the PF, the gratuity norms, the labor laws, etc. Because no one wants to take a permanent staff. So the kind of opportunities here is humongous. So that's in terms of, you know, the manpower outsourcing agency, be it the security, facilities management, cash logistics, temp staffing, etc. The fourth opportunity that I would like to bounce you on is the accounting and the compliance industry. So you might be a CA intern, a graduate, start a career in accounting. Every SME today with GST requires someone, and they are willing to pay as much as 15,000, 20,000 rupees per month. To a higher extent, there are companies which are outsourcing their end-to-end compliance, right from tally accounting to GST return filing and all the ROC compliances. There are new active company compliances where the directors of the company will have to be seated in the registered office and a photograph taken from outside, from inside. All this compliance work does not necessarily need a degree holder. You need an intermediary here for registration of companies, for doing your end-to-end accounting in Tally, in some customized software. Why not get into this? Plus a lot of work is coming from abroad. QuickBooks at $5 to $6 per hour. QuickBooks Sage from Europe, from Canada, from US, from Australia. Obviously, I will not be able to give you the exact list of the companies where it is there, because I've always believed that I'll teach people how to fish instead of giving them fish for one day. But there are a lot of people who are doing outsourcing big time, accounting and compliance, no brainer, just it's a volume driven game. The fifth idea which I thought was in design. If you got an aesthetic sense today, there are aspects like website designing, interior designing, fashion designing, photography, social media marketing, where you can just leverage that particular talent and make a killing for yourself. Every guy who actually goes for a wedding today spends around 2 to 3 lakh rupees in the event, in the pre-wedding shoot. You might have a talent for it. I have got a student who was not able to clear CA, IPCC, ITSM for n number of attempts, became a photographer and is now accomplished, famous across the world in that photography field. In interior designing, that in itself is a 20,000 crore per annum kind of a business in our country. difficult to get the clients, but you just need 2-3 good flats under construction at any point of time. That's enough to replace that corporate salary, right? Similarly, website designing, every SME, every individual who wants to get an online presence today needs a website. A website might cost as low as 3,000-4,000 rupees for the designing part, but then it goes up, these projects go up to 4 to 5 lakhs. You need not necessarily have the skills of a PHP coding and a JavaScript or a .NET, but then you can have people under you. You can be that commercial guy who can go out there and sell to the market. Tell people that how they can do search engine optimization and come up higher in Google rankings. So that if someone searches best hotel in Mandarmani, their hotel comes up. Huge businesses, and then lease rental discounting. And it's a very large, intensive capital investment kind of a thing. But the model is very plain vanilla, very simple. There's a company which requires a warehouse. It's willing to enter into a 10-year contract on a lease rental with me. What do is that I buy that particular warehouse, okay, and then enter into a lease agreement with the company, have these lease rentals, and those lease rentals are then discounted by a bank, and I get the money, I buy the warehouse, give it back to that company, and I make a good killing in this. Very high network is required here. You need good contacts, and you need to have that capability, that risk-taking ability, that if the company gives the notice period and asks that they are going to vacate in 3 months, can you get a second one? Okay, so this happens not just for warehouses, it happens for all commercial spaces, including the pantaloons and the big bazaars of the world and the shopper stops. Everyone takes office space and these mall spaces on lease rentals today. If not, you can do the whole thing. You can at least become a commission broker here in the LRD business and make a killing for yourself. Friend, my whole objective of creating this video was to sensitize on the idea that it's not necessary that you need to arm yourself with XYZ number of degrees. Again, degrees give you a very good launch pad and an instant 50,000 rupees per month or a 1 lakh rupees per month kind of a job. But then it comes with its own cost, corporate politics, stress, bosses, lot of traveling, you need to relocate from your home station. All these businesses which I told can be done from your hometown. You can stay with your family and enter into these businesses. Wonderful, isn't it? And this is not the exhaustive list. There are n number of businesses that can be done here. If you've got any comments on this, please put it in the section below. What are the problems that you think you're facing? Maybe from my management background, my 10 years into corporate life, probably I can give you some ideas on this. And if you find someone who's probably going to benefit from this video, please share. And I assume that you've already subscribed to this channel. If not, please do it right away, and also press the bell button because that gives you the notification whenever I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for your patience. Bye bye. All the best.